Greetings to you wherever you are. Please let me know if everything is well with this life so I would know whether to continue or not. Okay, let me know if you're hearing me loud and clear. Let me know if the visual is good. Okay, so I'm just waiting on your feedback because the first one, it wasn't going as well, so I had to really stop and start over. Okay, so please let me know. Okay. Someone says you're perfect, so I realize everything is well. So I really want to thank each and every one of you who this video finds because you're the one that this message is for. And so if you ever been asked the question, do you believe in God, by someone who's religious, I'm going to show you how when you think more deeply, how stupid and dumb that person have to be for believing in something exoterically while asking you, a Christian, that referring to that entity esoterically. It means that they do not know the difference between in and out. They do not know the difference between up and down. Now, if you ever understand the law of opposite or the law of polarity, you would realize that there can never be a in unless there is a out. And on the US dollar or on the US money, it says that in God we trust. And I remember quite vividly going to a certain place in my country that is owned, it's a building that is owned by a very, very rich man who would have passed on. Okay. Many years ago, I used to go to the theater that this man owned. Plus, right now, he owns a shopping center and so on. But as I said, this man, he died and he passed on. But before he died, he created a Hall of Fame. And he have pictures there with a number of people from the island who contribute to the country. So they have prime ministers there and politicians and many other what they refer to as distinguished people there. Okay. And above there, he has written, "In God we trust." And I remember doing a video about it and explaining to the people of my country what it really means when it says "in God we trust," and show them that the masses have been serving a God on the outside, an idol on the outside. Yet they're asking you, a Christian, not understanding the question that they're asking you, just to show you how dumb they are and how much it doesn't make any sense when a religious and a superstitious person asks you that question. And so, to cut the long story short, after I explain that it is a coded language and that the English language itself is actually a coded language, and that the Bible itself is encoded and must be decoded. And those of us who are trusting, putting trust in the power that is within, or the intelligence that is within, will never ask anyone, do you believe in God? Because we know that we trust that which is within. That's why we don't go to church. That's why we don't join any religious organization, because we trust that which is within. That's why we don't ask no one that question. So whenever anyone asks you that question, you know that's a dumb person. And that's the question, okay, that only aware people who are self-aware and self-actualized can ask to others who are already self-actualized and self-aware as a code. That is why I always say to people, go and look at this YouTuber guy with school of hard knocks. Okay? And this is a guy that travels all over the world and speak to very rich people. And he would turn around and he would ask them, do you believe in God? Knowing that it's a Czech Christian, and those people, knowing also that Czech Christian and is a coded Christian, while religious and superstitious people do not know is a coded Christian, they always use that Christian being dumb and blind and ignorant. And so when this young man asked these very rich people, these multimillionaires and billionaires, do you believe in God? Look at the smile on his face. Look at the body language, and you would realize that he do not mean an exoteric God. He's not referring to no exoteric God. He's not referring to no entity on the outside. He knows that these very wealthy and rich people know something that the masses do not know concerning the intelligence that is within, that we refer to as God. That's why he always asks them, do you believe in God? They never say no. They always say yes, because why? They cannot deny the higher self. They cannot deny their creative self, because it is their creative self that give them the businesses or the ideas. I should say ideas first. That give them the ideas, okay, to create these businesses that make them multimillionaires and billionaires. So I'm saying the dumb people of this world, the masses, the sheep, which a sheep represent the dumbest animal on this planet. And they refer to themselves as sheep by accepting a shepherd. And if you're a melanated or black person, listen to me, and you accept a blonde hair, blue eye, white shepherd to lead you, you're dumb. You're definitely a sheep. Okay, and Trump have all right to refer to you as an ape, or a monkey, or a gorilla. Okay, because you're dumb. So dumb religious people always ask that question when they are believing in an exoteric entity, an entity on the outside. They're looking to the sky. For example, I was having a conversation with a young man who is a teacher at a school, and he's pointing up in the sky every time he mentioned God. And I say, look at me. And I say the same things that he was saying, and I point here. And I say, the difference between me and you is that I am pointing to the intelligence that is within, while you are pointing to the intelligence and thinking it's outside. You see how simple it is to disown the dumb, the foolish from the wise, the enlightened, the self-aware, and the self-actualized people. So this world will always have dumb people, and we appreciate the dumb people. And these dumb people are always religious people. And when you do not speak like them or think like them, they always ask you that question, not understanding that the question that they're asking you. That's why many of them gonna come on to this live and see the topic and think I'm gonna speak the same language like them. They're gonna come on thinking that I am dumb like them, thinking that I'm speaking about some entity on the outside. They will come on in this live thinking that I am speaking about some entity in the sky. They will come on in this live thinking I'm speaking like T.D. Jakes, I am speaking like Joel Osteen, I am speaking like Creflo Dollar, and I'm pointing them to some idol on the outside because they love the idolatry and they want confirmation to the idolatry. But it is all about understanding what I am teaching esoterically. And they're asking an esoteric question while they're living the rest of their life on the exoteric, looking for God on the outside, looking for God in the sky, and turning around asking you if you believe in God. And when you don't give them the answer that they're looking for, they will get angry at you. They will call you stupid. They will call you crazy, not knowing that they are the ones who are dumb, stupid, and crazy. So my brother and my sisters, to believe in God is to believe in yourself. It's to trust the creative power that is within you. So people who believe in God don't go to church. People who really believe in God don't tie themselves to no religious organization. Don't make no one fool you. People who believe in God don't ever refer to themselves as no Christian and no believer and no saved. People who really believe in God, you understand? Because they know the power that is within themselves. Because they know that self-realization is real salvation. They don't ask no one that question. That's why I never ask no one that question. So I've been entertaining a lot of dumb religious people when they ask me that question. And they quick to ask me that question. Do you believe in God? If you tell them that the fact that I don't go to church proves that I do not believe. That I believe in God. In God. The fact that I am not a part of any religious organization proves that I believe in God. In God, not the out God. So they worshiping an out God, talking about an out God, living an outside life, living in the dark, being dumb, blind, being wretched, and they're asking you a question. Not even, you see how dumb? It's the dumbness of it I really wanted to catch. So next time you meet a religious and superstitious idiot who will turn around and ask you, you believe in God, show them, how could you believe in an outside God and ask him if I believe in God? It means that you do not know the difference between in and out. You do not know the difference between up and down. It means they have no understanding of the law of polarity, the law of opposite. They have no understanding of that at all. There's a certain result that you get in your life when you're living in ignorance. And there's a certain result that you get in your life when you've been enlightened, when you are self-aware, when you find the light that is in you, there's a certain result that you will get. So all these dumb people, which I refer to as sheep, they're sheep. They call themselves sheep too. And they're always looking for a shepherd because they can't lead themselves. When you understand self-leadership, when you understand self-knowledge, when you understand how powerful you are, you know that you don't need a preacher. You give a preacher the middle finger. You would realize that you don't need a politician. You would give a politician the middle finger. And you would never ask no one that dumb question. That question always come from the dumbest people. Okay? And as I said again, and I will say it again, the young man with the YouTube channel, the School of Hard Knocks, when he asks that question, he's not asking that question from a dumb perspective. He's asking it knowing that he's speaking about the intelligence that is within, that helps you to become rich, that help you to get anything that you desire in this world, that you won't be broke and poor and miserable, okay, and be controlled by the bank. All these people who like to ask you that question, do you believe in God? They take the vaccine. They were controlled by the big scamdemic and pandemic. They had loans and mortgages. Because why? They didn't really believe the inside intelligence. So you see how dumb they are? So I have to expose these dumb people. So you might have a brother, you might have a sister, you might have an aunt, you might have an uncle, you might have someone, okay, who is so religious and superstitious, and they will ask you that question, not knowing that they're dumb. Okay? So, my brother, my sisters, I am saying this because you will always encounter people who would ask you that question because they're dumb and you're not speaking their language. And when you're not speaking their language, they would ask you that question. How could you ask me an esoteric question when you're believing exoterically? You're looking outwardly. You're talking about Jesus coming soon. You're speaking of God as some separate entity outside of yourself. Yet you're gonna ask, do you believe in God? In God, in God, in the intelligence within, in. You see how dumb they are? They do not know the difference between in and out. And at school, when children go to school, they now we tell them up, down, in, out, stand up, sit down. And people do not understand this simple language because they fail to realize that life on this planet involves being awake or being asleep. That's your entire life. So basically, how you go to bed and how you're awake, that's what's shaping your life. So if you go into bed believing in an entity on the outside, serving an entity on the outside, living your life in idolatry, living your life in false identity too. Okay, not knowing your divinity, and you turning around and asking someone who know who they are if they believe in God. When you do not believe in God, you believe out God. You serving an out God. You serving an idol. You see how dumb most melanated people are? You see how dumb most melanated people are? You see why Trump battery refer to melanated people. When you use the Obamas, it basically saying black people are monkey, you know? And ape and gorilla. And it's not talking about the animal, unorganized mind. You see what happens when you have a religious mindset? You see when how dumb a person could be when they have a superstitious mindset? You're using the word in and living the rest of your life looking on the outside, believing in an outside entity. That is so dumb. So the people who are asking this question, they're asking the question. I'm talking about the religious people. I'm not talking about the young man who I mentioned who have the YouTube channel called School of Hard Knocks. And I want people to check him out. Every time he interview all these rich multi-millionaires and billionaires, he always put the kind of smile on his face. And he always say, do you believe in God? He ain't talking about church. He ain't talking about religion. Do you realize all the religion that black people follow, they were started by a white man and a white woman who understand the things I am saying because they have esoteric knowledge. And they keep you on the exoteric. And you keep your exoteric monkey ass asking questions, but do you believe in God? And then you're willing to condemn someone. You understand? Because they don't have the same perspective and the same belief like your monkey ass. So my brother and my sisters, those of you who are more self-aware, those of you who are more self-actualized, don't waste your time, don't waste your energy with these religious idiots. They're idiots. And we need them. That's why I'm not here to condemn or to pull them down, just here to shed light. Because I know if you come on this life and you're religious and you're superstitious, I will offend you. I would mash your can. Not everyone could take this kind of teaching. Okay? Because you're going to deal with your ego. So all the people who believe in some exoteric or some outside God or some outside Lord and Savior and want to ask this particular question, as my video is named, when you tell them they're dumb, they can't stand it. They can't stand the truth. And most melanated black people can't take the truth. And the truth is, whenever these Caucasian people call you a monkey, there's truth to it, and there's a lot of proof to it that you're a monkey. You in church jumping up and down and calling on some outside savior and calling on some outside Lord and master and turning around and asking people if they believe in God, and you're serving out God. I keep repeating myself till people get it. There's an in God and an out God. The out God is an idol. The in God is that of your higher self, your consciousness, your awareness. And there's only consciousness. That's why everything in this world that you desire to live a very pleasing and fulfilling life on this planet, it has to first be a thought, it has to first be an idea, it has to first be imagined. So it means when you asking someone that question and you believe in some entity on the outside, you're mentally retarded. I'm not gonna hold back from calling you mentally retarded. I'm not gonna hold back from calling you a monkey. I'm not gonna hold back from calling you a gorilla. I'm not gonna hold back from calling you these names because they just represent an organized mind. So For example, though I'm not a fan of Trump. I'm not a fan of the pale skinned man either. Okay, but I have to call a spade a spade. So if he feel that Obama didn't do a good job, okay, because of his unorganized mind, and he used a monkey, a gorilla, people vex, and people making all kind of video, I said all kind of thing. You understand what I'm saying? When our people do bullshit, we have to call out the bullshit. Okay? And there's a lot of our people that are doing bullshit. For example, when melanated people gonna support a man that wearing a hat, a clothes saying back chaser. And I'm gonna call out this man Anton Daniels or whatever his name. When people gonna listen to people like that and supporting a pale skin man talking about he's sick and tired of fed up of people melanated people blaming them and so on. Okay? And they set up system to continue to keep you in a perpetual state of mental slavery. In so much that they have you looking outwardly and you asking a question that is pointing inwardly and do not know is that inward question you're asking. Yo, you realize how dumb? Yo, I can't keep quiet. I can't help but just being myself and showing people how dumb they. I call a woman dumb who came to my business place and know she never coming back. You understand? I call her dumb, coming and ask me if I believe in Jesus. While she believing in oh Jesus, looking to the sky for a Jesus, looking to someone outside that doesn't look like herself. She's a monkey. I have to call she a monkey. It's the truth. An unorganized mind. So most melanated people, they're gonna come on this life, and when they hear the word monkey, they can't stand the truth. Okay? Because all of these religious bodies, all of these churches, none of the people who went to these churches believe in God. They believe out God. They believe on the outside. They look on the outside. They seek on the outside. They are monkeys. And it's the truth. And they can't stand the truth. The fuck you go to church? You go to a so-called church, belong to a so-called organization, and asking someone if they believe in God. And when you trust in on something on the outside, you have to be dumb. You're dumb. And you have to call dumb people dumb. So our people been dumb down for so much years. They under a spell. And they don't know it. They're so much under this a spell that they're going to ask you a question that they themselves do not understand. So many times when people ask me, do you believe in God? And I normally say yes and no. Because they go on to know what is the no and why is yes and no. Okay, I say yes, because I do understand the question that you're asking me. And no, because I know that you do not understand the question that you're asking me. Because you go to church and you tie yourself to a religious organization. So I know you believe out God, not in God. I know you trust out God. I know you're looking for some man to come from the sky. I know you believe in a sky daddy. So what kind of question you're asking me? Most of them, they have no esoteric knowledge at all. They have no knowledge of universal laws. How could you be blaming a devil on the outside and asking people if they believe in God? You're fucking dumb. A bunch of dumb motherfuckers. And you have to speak the truth. And I'm using words to run a religious people who are religious people on my channel. Because if you're religious and a superstitious and come on this channel, you'll be offended. I'll mash your can. This is not for religious people. This is for thinkers. Deep thinkers. So all the assholes all around the world who like to ask people if they believe in God while they belong to some religious organization and they're saying that Jesus coming soon and looking for some sky daddy. They are a bunch of assholes. That's exactly who they are. So what other name would you want me to refer to? I'm not saying that to bring down no one, to belittle no one, you know. I'm saying that to show you that there are dumb people on this planet and there are wise people on this planet. And the dumb think they're wise. And the wise know that they're dumb and can show how dumb they are. But they could never, ever show you as dumb. They could only disagree with you. That's all they could do. So my brother, my sister, this one ain't gonna be too long. You understand? It's just to deal with the question. Okay. Because when your eyes start to open and you start to see things differently and you start to speak, your family members gonna ask you question. They're gonna refer to you as an atheist. And do you know the real definition of an atheist? An atheist is anyone who do not believe in the power that is within himself, or ourself. Do you know self-doubt is the real blasphemy? Yes, self-doubt is the blasphemy. When you say, oh, if you blaspheme against the spirit, is yourself he's talking about. It can be forgiven. When you blaspheme against yourself and you live in lack and scarcity and you believe in some outside entity and you believe in Jesus and you believe in some outside God and some sky daddy, you live in that's blasphemy. No one could help you. When you're so religious and superstitious, looking outwardly, and then asking that question, you understand? Not knowing is an esoteric question you're actually asking. You understand what I'm saying? Who could help you? Nobody could help you. You see? So my brother, my sisters, those of you who may just come on this live, I want you to go and check out that guy channel. Okay, just to hear him ask the people the question, do you believe in God? And you will realize he's not asking a religious question from a religious standpoint. While a bunch of black people normally ask that question from a religious, superstitious standpoint. So these people will always be the employer and our people will always be the employee. So that's why I can't try to be nice and smooth. I can't give you a speech like Farrakhan and them. I can't do that kind of speech. I'm not so intellectual. I speak only from experience. I'm not here to impress no one. I'm not here just to make you feel good. You understand? I'm not here just to make you feel important. I'm here to wake you up. And if I'm going to wake you up, I'm going to make your ass uncomfortable. Anybody ever wake you up out of your sleep? When you don't wake up out of your sleep, you're going to feel fucking uncomfortable. They take you out of that little rest and think that you get in that little sleep. And that's what I'm doing. Okay? So it's dumbass people normally ask that question from a religious perspective. You have to understand where I'm coming from. Because when the guy asks that question, the guy School of Hard Knocks, if I keep talking about this man, they might tell him, stop ask that question. There's a black man who could decode, You understand? It's an encoded question. And they are people from generation to generation. That question is not an encoded question to them, because they dumb. They unorganized mind, they're monkey. You might have to stop ask that question to these multi-millionaires and billionaires, because there's a man who read in between the lines. He different, he kind of different. But they call him stupid and crazy, but he different. We know he ain't stupid. We know he ain't crazy. Ooh, having fun. And the bare feet too. Watch. Have my shoes off, man. Well connected. Yeah, man. Take my shoes off. Connected. Grounded. You understand why I'm having fun? These religious black people, man. Time for black people to wake up. Stop asking the question, do you believe in God? While you trust in an outside God. It's stupid. It's dumb. And somebody have to call you out. And somebody have to call you a monkey. Yeah. And you can't say, well, oh, he sell out and he did it because what you kind of views us get. You know the shadow ban me, right? Anybody with common sense could see and know. You understand? But I'm here to solve. And I'll do what I have to do. Okay? And I know I'm going to hurt some people feeling. But I'm telling you, an open rebuke is better than secret love. Let me run that again. Open rebuke is better than secret love. And all the black people that go in church and believe in Jesus and believe in some outside God, they're definitely monkey. Yeah, man. They live in the monkey mind. You have to tell the truth. They live in monkey mind. They live in a gorilla. You understand what I'm saying? They live in the animalistic realm where they see, eat, touch, and smell. They live in survival mode. So don't vex with Trump. Understand why Trump says so. And why Trump put up the Obama as that. Understand why white people call black people monkey. Understand it. Don't get vexed. Don't get angry. Understand it. Oh, do you believe in God and you believe in an outside God? You look in the sky, you're fucking dumb. You don't know the difference between in and out. There's a difference between in and out. My organs, the organs of my body is inside, not outside. So I don't look for certain function on the outside. I look for certain function on the inside. It means that you do not even understand the art of creation. Come on, man. Jesus Christ. Come on. You do not understand the art of creation. Everything is created within force. So if you don't believe that on the inside, and you trust in that on the fucking outside, you're dumb. I'm asking that question. Very much dumb. Lord. Oh my. It hurts my heart to see how people are so dumb and so blind. People don't think. The reason why people don't think, because they don't spend no time in isolation. People need to think. People just open their mouth and they speak, but they don't really think about what they're saying. They've been programmed. They've been controlled. They do not know themselves. When you know yourself, no one can control you. When you know yourself, you don't be dumb. When you know yourself, you speak from an esoteric standpoint, not from an exoteric standpoint. That's why they ask an esoteric question while they live an exoteric fucking life, looking for some man in the sky to come and save them. They're dumb. They're monkeys, living the monkey mind. You're here to create. You're here to be a conscious and a deliberate creator. You're here to have and be whatever the fuck you want to have and be in this world. And no one can stop you. If you believe in the creative, innovative intelligence that is inside of you. So stop looking on the outside for some fucking God to come and save you. You've been dumb. That's why I could never forget the big scamdemic, the big pandemic of 2020. All these religious assholes were praying for someone to come and save them when they have mortgages and loans with the banks. Do you realize the banks in these islands been set up by foreign entities? For example, you have Bank of Nova Scotia. They used to have in my country Bank of Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia is where? In Canada. They used to have Barclays Bank. Barclays is where? I think it's Canada too. Okay. And just lately, they moved those banks from out of the islands because definitely something is about to happen concerning with the money. And they pass it over to the blind puppet leaders. Okay. So when you have blind puppet leaders leading the people, if the blind lead the blind, what do you think would happen? Okay. A lot of these men and women in the islands, they're puppets. Okay. They can't even govern their own life, much as to govern the people. And the people who look for government to govern them, it's because they're dumb and they're not aware of their consciousness, their awareness. Do you realize that everything actually exists in your consciousness? Do you realize everything exists in your awareness? So for you to be looking on the outside for some God to save you, you have to definitely be a fucking monkey. You have to be an idiot to think someone gonna come and save you. When you're thirsty, water is your savior. When you're hungry, food is your savior. There's no Jesus or no man coming from the sky to save you. So people gotta wake up. Okay? They make sure in your formative years that they infiltrate your subconscious mind to be stupid. So at school, and they've been running this school program for centuries, upon centuries. Your great-great-great-great-grandfather and great-great-great-grandmother get the same fake education. Okay? And that education came all the way from the plantation, where they create obedient slaves through what they call higher learning. So they keep you on the realm of memory, whereby you just repeat or regurgitate things that was said to you, and you never learn to think for yourself. But you're born in this world with your will and your perception. You're born with your intuition. You're born with your imagination. And poverty is a lack of imagination. everything in this world, it was for us imagine. It was for us a thought. It was for us an idea. It means it is being created inside first. So if you do not trust that which is within, and you trust in something on the outside, and you turning around and asking about the power within, not knowing is the power within you're speaking about, you have to be dumb. Bunch of dumb religious idiots. Church idiots. And these pastors keeping them being idiots and monkeys. So why would you vex if someone call you a monkey? You shouldn't vex. Face the truth. Look at our people's lives and look at what they are bringing forth, what they are producing. So if you're not living a productive life, you're not producing, you're just walking. Our people have become just consumers, just consuming, instead of being creating. You're looking for fucking creator on the outside. How are you going to be creative when you're looking for a creator on the outside? You're denying your creative self. You're denying your genius self. Do you know that you're a genius? Do you know that you're a legend? I'm not gonna wait until I die for someone to say, "Oh, he was a legend." No, I know that I'm a living legend. I know that I am a genius. That's why I don't believe like the masses. Because when you start to believe, it's because you're not sure. But when you have experience, you become a witness of your experience, and you can draw out of your experience, and that would make you an educated person. An educated person is a person who knows how to get anything that they desire in this world, because they would have found their creative, innovative intelligence within themselves. So the whole school system that they set up in the Caribbean, okay, is a plantation. Okay, and so when you grow up in these parts, you have to speak and highlight certain things. You can't compromise. Okay. So let me read some comments here, because I really don't want to go beyond an hour. I have a lot of things to do. Okay. I want to thank you all for tuning in, first of all. Okay. And I want to see if the message really, really resonates with you. Okay. And it's quite awakening to you. I'm asking of you to support this work. Okay. All of the links are down in the description. I very much need your support, because I'm telling you, YouTube and the media is not going to give me that support. I am telling you, and I'm on this platform telling you the truth. Okay. Because they know I'm not going to join the cabal. They know I'm not going to be a part of the cabal. They know I'm not going to sell out. They know I've rejected all of the invitations before. Okay. So you're the ones who have to stand with me. You have to be the ones who have to support me. And you're the ones who would benefit from what I am teaching. That's why I'm always pointing you to look within. I am not pointing you to look on the outside. And I will never encourage you to look on the outside. I will never encourage you to believe anything on the outside or to trust anything on the outside. I will always encourage you to trust that which is within. All intelligence on this planet comes from within. One's consciousness, one's awareness, all science, all technology. It comes from within. All neuroscience. All these things come from within. So you have to be real dumb looking for some intelligence on the outside. You have to be real dumb looking for someone to come to save you. Someone from the outside. No, everything on the outside is an expression of that which is within. You have to embrace your oneness with the all. You have to embrace your oneness with nature. You have to know that there's a sun that is within you. That sun that is within you is a spark. And when that spark ignites, your whole body will be full of a light. And it is signified and represented by I that would awake within you, that would change you from mortal to immortality. Because you will discover your immortal self. That's why you won't be afraid of death. And you wouldn't be controlled by debt either. And when I say controlled by debt, I'm talking about to the banks and the credit unions and so on. You're in debt. It's the same thing. Because you're living your life on this planet like a living dead. So all these religious, superstitious idiots who bow in 2020 to 2022 under the big scamdemic, the big pandemic, they're turning around. They have the nerve to turn around to ask you, who are more self-aware, more intelligent, more wise, more self-actualized, a person who knows that true salvation is actually self-realization, and you understand the symbolic conversation that is hidden in the Bible, they're going to turn around and ask you if you believe in God when they're trusting on something on the outside. You see how dumb they are? A bunch of dumb assholes. Preachers assholes and the followers assholes. They're sheep. The dumbest animal on the planet is a sheep. That's why they always need a shepherd. And if you're a melanated person, listen to me, they always provide you a shepherd that doesn't look like you. You see how dumb sheep, you see how much a dumb sheep. Right now I'm speaking to you, no amount of dumb sheep they in a building right now making a bunch of noise and making an ass out of themselves. And they believe they accomplish something because they have a vehicle, something that keep devaluing all the time, depreciating all the time. They think they make it. And they think they come on this planet to go to school, get good grades, get a job, then get a vehicle, then get a house to live. And they keep living like that and we just keep consuming, and we're not creating shit. Because why? Of our belief system. Because of our belief system, my brother and my sisters. Okay. So the people who asking the question, they do not understand the question that they're asking. They believe, oh God. We who trust in God know that we are God. I wonder if some people listen to me could really take what I say. The people who really believe in God know that they are God. So you see how dumb these religious assholes are? It's only the people who know who they are and who know that they are God could trust in God. because the invisible is within. You're looking for a visible God while asking me, a Christian, if I believe I'm invisible. The invisible. You believe in the visible while you asking me if I believe in the invisible. You know how stupid that is? Let me go in the comment. Let me see what people say here. Someone say Yahuwah is the way to go. Where is Yahuwah? Inside or outside? That's all I'm talking about. That's all I want to know. Okay? The way is within you. The truth is within you. The only life there is within you. There's no other life. Anything else that you behold is because of the life within. And there's none higher than life. When people say Yahuwah, or Mahuwah, or Gaguwah, or whatever name they want to call, it's an intelligence they're talking about. And they just giving a name and put a name to it. That's why some people believe that their name is John James. No, they're just two words put together, man. Your real name is I am. They could say anything. Yeah, I say I am. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Most people, when they talk about God, they don't put their hand on themselves. They just point up there. If you're gonna point upwards, point here, where the intelligence is. Okay, don't go up so. Don't point to no sky. Okay, that's how I shut up the teacher, man. I say you pointing up there while I pointing in here. Someone say good morning, bro. Greetings to you. Yeah, the kingdom is within. Well, then if the kingdom is within, then you are a king. But most people are King Kong because they're living in the monkey brain, looking on the outside. Keep saying, Jesus coming soon. Just soon. And ain't realize that we living in the now. There is no such a thing as a man that was. That man how always have to be is because there's only now. Don't let nobody fool you. And if that man is the same yesterday, today, and forever, that man have to be the invisible man. And that invisible man have to be the intelligence that is within you. And that intelligence that is within you can't die. And that intelligence that is within you don't need no savior, because that intelligence is the savior. And you don't need no healer, because that intelligence is the healer. You know, if you get a cut on your hand, on your foot or whatever, it heals itself. You go to the pharmacy, I go to the doctor, they only give you something to stop the germ or something from it, you know what I mean, information and so on, but it heals itself. So everything that you desire is inside of you. So those who look on the outside and then asking you an inside question, the real notice, they're stupid. Do you believe in God? And you believe in a God on the outside. You see how stupid they are? They're real stupid. And you have to expose them. If what I'm saying really resonates with you and so on, and you know you want to get more and so on, you can check out my Patreon and so on, support the work and so on, you know, because you know, no advertisement, nothing, you know what I mean, and get stuff. You could become a member or whatever, because I mean I'm not gonna sit here, you know, and pretend, okay. I know that they shadow ban me, you understand, and I know that those of you who listen to me and support me, you understand, I have to reach out to you for your support. Okay, I have things I'm offering to you. I have books I'm offering to you. I'm offering my one-on-one service and so on. I have to offer things to you also. Okay, it's always about giving and receiving. Okay, and I have to appreciate using my gift, using my talent, and sending it out, knowing that it's gonna come back to me. Okay, in good measure, it's gonna be pressed and shaken together, and it's gonna be running over. Men will give into my bosom, so I do not have to depend on social media and their propaganda and belittle myself for views or for anything. I'm gonna speak the truth. Doesn't matter who it hurts. Once it's the truth that will set people free, because I know this teaching gonna set a lot of people free. Okay. Religion poisoned by Roman and politics. Of course, our religion is a poison. It's to bring separation. It's to bring division, because that's the only how they're gonna conquer you. That's the only how they're gonna control you. That's the only how they're gonna get space or room in your mind. But when you lock them out, they have no control over you. But most people can't be themselves. People like to pretend. People like to be good. That is why when any man come out of India and play, he's a holy man. He dress a certain way, he look a certain way, and he present a certain character, and everybody will follow. Especially if you take such a man and you put him on economic forum and you put him on certain platform among certain people that people look up. That's why I don't look up to no one, you know. I'm no respect that persons. That's why for years I used to always say, like for example in my country, politicians like to hug up other men, women, and they just laugh. You can't hug up, play, you come and hug in my fucking woman, and I can't hug your wife. I deal with you. Tell you don't do that. I don't care whether you're a politician or preachers love do that too, you know. And say they're greeting. So my brother and my sisters, yeah, you have to spot the dumb people among you, and you have to call the dumb dumb, and you have to remain conscious that they are needed in society still. Okay, but this is just to help you to stand on principle, stand on business. Yeah. Someone say ancient way was a spiritual walk. The book of Enoch is the oldest book from book of Ethiopian. Well, someone sent me the Ethiopian Bible and so on. And, you know, there's a lot of debates and a lot of different things. But I would always say to anyone, when you get experience, oh my, bro, I am telling you, when that eye open inside of you, some people call it pineal gland and so on and all of that, right? And out of knowledge, just talking. I am telling you, when you start to vibrate, Like if you are experiencing a great earthquake and then there's an eruption inside of you and there's a blast, like a volcanic blast, and you've been lifted up and you ascend and you change from one form to another form and you experience instant like creation and you experience yourself like a little baby to its mother's arm, connect to its mother's arm, Philippian tube, I think you call it. And you extend it up there in space, like in the astral world and all of that, and you experience that a new birth. You think you have time to talk about, oh, this book is the oldest book, and the book of this, and the book of that. It's still always somebody's mind you're reading, you know. But when you get your experience, you talk your experience, that's why your experience will all be a secret. That's why there will always be a secret brotherhood, a real secret brotherhood. All these other brotherhoods, fake brotherhood. You know? Any brotherhood you could join is a fake brotherhood. That's why I've been joining the cabal. You see those I say experience? That's a brotherhood right there. The ancient will all connect with the ancient. Why do you think my ancestors come to me? And some people are no soul, you know. Nah, some people are no soul. They're moving in frozen. They're frozen. They walking, talking, they breathing, they're frozen. No sun. So that's why you think they want to block the sun. If there are people with soul, they're soulless people. And let me tell you something. Don't think for once that we are the only creatures living here. There are non-physical beings that are here that feed off of people's energy, man. Nobody could fool me. No one could fool me. Up to last night, they tried to mess with me, you know, but I'm protected, man. I know that I'm protected. So when people want to talk about God, don't tell me about no white God. Don't tell me what your white God say. Because when you look on the outside as a melanated person, that's what you're doing. Somebody said truth seekers. I'm just waiting for the wind to calm down a little, you know, the wind blowing a little high. Just waiting for the wind to calm a little. Okay. Someone say YHWH is the beginning. I have no beginning. I have no end. I have no beginning, I have no end. When people talk about the pharaohs and people talk about all of these things, sometimes I laugh because when you are the experienced boy, when you experience the ancient of days, or what they call ancient of days, when you experience your eternal self, when you experience that part of you that can't die, that when you experience that part of you that can alchemize, it can transmute into many different things. You understand? Oh my, it's the greatest experience you could have on this planet. And you can't try to be something, you can't be a hypocrite. You can't compromise for money. You can't compromise with popularity. You can't compromise for fame. You can't compromise for none of those things, man. You can't. You just can't. Because why? You really experience your God self. So you really believe in God, in God. So when all of these church folks like to talk about, do you believe in God? They're talking about some sky daddy. Okay? So they're dumb. So I'm just showing you how dumb they are. Asking you a question that they have absolutely no understanding about the question they're asking you. So you could do like me, tell them yes and no. And then they say yes, because I understand the question. And no, because I know that you do not understand the question that you're asking me. Because you could just watch their life. So you don't need to ask nobody that question. You see how dumb they are? Just look at their life. Going to church, joining to some church organization or some speaking social club, looking to some man on the sky, going on their knees, and crying and begging and beseeching some entity outside of themselves, yet they come around and ask you that question. But if you believe in God, you who just saying in God, they ask you that question. And they think that you are atheists when they are the atheists. They don't trust the power that is within. They look for some power on the outside. And they're in idolatry. Why you think the state profiting off of them? And let me say this. You must ask religious people, what was Jesus' religion? If they believe so much in Jesus, the outside man, okay, the outside God, what was his religion? What was the name of his religion? And if they so much believe in this outside savior, okay, was he loved and embraced by politicians and the religious order at the day? And then you check your whole life and see if you've been embraced by those systems. And you know whether you speak the truth or not. You see T.D. Jakes and Crocodile and them is like big time celebrity. Which man could ever come to see the people or to awake the people and like the people and be treated like a celebrity? Someone say, ask every question, never stop. Ask every question, never stop. People will perish for lack of knowledge. They will always perish for lack of knowledge. Because they think they have knowledge when they have no knowledge. Religious people think they have knowledge when they have no knowledge. They're real dumb. Okay? Very much dumb. Okay, believe they trust a God on the outside. They believe a God on the outside. They pray to a God on the outside. Then they're going to turn around and ask you, do you believe in God? In God. In God. And then I realize that in God, I'm saying. And then the people who give them money and they keep them under the money spell and control them. Them not knowing that money is a flowing living currency. Money is like water. And them who don't know that, they would never realize their true currency. On my next channel, for my next live, I'll be talking about the secret of income. So I'll go more into that. Okay. But these people are very idiotic. And to be honest with you, when you live in the Caribbean and you understand how much the banks have the people controlled, you know, when you come out with something like the big pandemic, a big scamdemic, you don't listen to all of these loudmouth people talking, you know. You know, because they're gonna bend over and take whatever inoculation is given, you know. And when you hear prime ministers and so on in the Caribbean talking, you don't listen to them, you know. You better take what they say with a little grain of salt, you know, because everything they say been scripted, you know. When you hear Trump and them say they're gonna send people, immigrants or whoever, okay, deportees to their country, and they say, oh, we thinking about this and that. No bother with them. They just saying this thing to make you think that they're in control. They're not in no control. They're puppets. They're all fucking puppets. And you going for a ride with them, believing them in the bullshit when you're supposed to govern yourself. So self-government is the only government there is. So knowledge is power. Okay? And people are always perish for lack of knowledge. Going to church, you ain't getting no knowledge. Joining a religion, you ain't getting no knowledge. No knowledge of self. No knowledge of self when they're teaching about someone else. You know nothing about in God. It's all about out God, the idol. Who give you that? Straight, go back to the plantation and you see who give you that. Black man, wake up. Someone say grand rising God and goddesses. That's exactly who we are. It becomes so common now, everybody calls themselves God and goddesses, but yeah, when you start to live like one, okay? You have to live like one. Love no other God but me. I love that. It's me. When these politicians swearing, they always say, so help me God. But they don't beat their chest, you know. They think they're talking to some man in the sky. Even some of them think they're talking to some man in the sky. Someone says, and when you stop judging all things, you become free. And you can't stop judging until you learn to judge yourself. Because when you look in the mirror and you realize you're the devil, and you can accept that you are the devil, then you accept your God self. You see, some people want to accept, oh, we are gods and goddesses and all of that. Some people like to say that. Nobody don't say we are devils too. No? You're both God and the devil. Don't let nobody fool you. Okay. Yeah. That's when you stop judge, because when you realize you're devil, okay, you don't judge no one, you know. And when you realize you're God, yeah, you're both God and the devil. That's why I don't judge. I just only expose. I show up certain things for my audience and to help to build people and for people eyes to open. That's my work on this planet. That's why I just enjoy it so much. That's why whether the shadow band they do all of that is just a joke for me, because it doesn't mean anything. When you're in your purpose, nothing can stop you from your purpose. Okay, nothing, absolutely nothing. If I have to travel this whole entire country talking to people, because the so-called Jehovah's Witness who call themselves awake, which is people who know better than these people. Because as I said before, all the different religious organizations and melanated people follow is white people. Is white people start them, you know. You understand? They will go and knock on everybody's door and speak to them. I could do that too. So who think social media is the future? As well as say, there's no future, bro. There's only now. Okay. They're trying to use AI to dumb you down, to take your real freaking intelligence. That's what they're doing, so you don't think no longer of yourself. Because they realize people waking up. So you can't start judging yourself until you devil. The moment you know you devil, you're free. You see, they tell you must accept Jesus Christ as the Lord and Savior, personal Savior. They never tell you to accept the devil as your personal destroyer. You know? They don't want you to know that. It's yourself that destroy yourself. It's you that betray yourself, you know. They say, oh, Judas betrayed Jesus. No, self-betrayal. Judas just represents self-betrayal. And you betray yourself. When you decide to take the choke, 2020 to 2022 because your loans and mortgage, who betray you? And you betray yourself. Because deep in the subconscious mind, you tell yourself you're going to starve, you're going to be homeless, whatever. And you doubt yourself. And you blaspheme against yourself. You're always blaspheming. You realize people that go to church on Saturday and Sundays are blasphemers? They live in self-doubt. You know the blasphemers. You know when they talk about witchcraft, they are the one who involved in witchcraft. You know they are the one who involved in the real witchcraft. You know going to church and calling out Jesus all of that, the real witchcraft. you know the plantation system was using witchcraft and still using witchcraft, you know, up to this day. Yeah, man, if the message resonates with you, I ask you to subscribe. Okay? Then we get the channel up. Even though look, even if the shadow ban, your channel could still grow. They could do things to try to slow you down, but they can't stop you. They can't stop you. They can't. It's impossible. 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 When you experience yourself as God, it's impossible for them to stop you. Not even death could stop you. I remember one night in the dream world, which is the real world, when I come out of myself, seated in the lotus pasture. Yeah, like the Buddha. You realize the Buddha could go to water. And here, Joe, you will just people take the junk, me, they was rejoicing and singing. Yeah, they was rejoicing and singing. Thinking they kill me. And I just came out in the lotus pasture seated. The Buddha. Buddha. This life is a dream. God meditated. I will talk about God. Me talk about no man in the sky. I talk about the intelligence inside, man. Yeah. I always know that this is remembrance. It's not learning. It's not getting a bunch of knowledge and just yap, 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 yap. And no disrespect to Rasta men all around the world and throughout the Caribbean. Stop the yapping, man. Live by expressing it. Create. Become conscious creators, not yappers. And those who say they believe in the Emperor Ethiopia and so on and all of that, he wasn't broke and poor. But that's another subject for another time. Okay? But this is to wake up people in the Caribbean, man. No sky papi. Thank you very much for that comment. Don't believe in no sky papi. So they believe in a sky papi and asking you if you believe in God. In. Remember the word that trying to get you is in and out. They lock themselves outside. And with it within. Read if you could get the book Play to All the Glory of the Cave. You can see what I'm talking about. Play to All the Glory of the Cave. Why do you think people might just call me stupid or crazy? They say, boy, he's a crazy man, you know, he lost his mind. But I tell them I am a fully certified crazy man. 100% certified crazy. When you wake up out of the gym, and you realize that the Lord and Master your destiny, you realize you could create your reality consciously. Man, the ideas will always come to you non-stop. Nobody could stop you, man. Someone say the fossil of Thomas was canonized, should be the word, because Yeshua taught you that you don't need pastor, religion, money to be direct to the greater Yahuwah. What people refer to as Yahuwah or Yeshua or whatever, to me, is not a man who existed like thousands of years ago. To me, it's a state of consciousness. It's a state of awareness. It's an experience. Okay? So, you could say, some people might say, oh, it's ego. You try to put yourself up there. No, I am that. You talk about Yeshua, I am that. Any name that represents someone who you see as a Messiah, as someone who awake out of the dream of life. It is someone who become self-aware, self-actualized, just to use some words there. Because you're searching for yourself. And you don't have to keep coming back here in ignorance. But if you want to come back here as a teacher, you come back as a teacher to teach and teach and teach and teach. And each time you come back, you're coming back greater and greater and greater and greater. Because it's just expansion and expansion and expansion and expansion. There's nothing new under the sun. So if this Yahshua or whatever name you want to call it or whatever, if it's the same yesterday, today, and forever, it's because it is now. Everything is now. So people talk about, oh, I have the Book of Thomas. Book of Thomas, book of this, book of that, book of that. About. You are the book of all books. When you awake and talk about your experience, only few people on this planet could talk about their divine experience. Very few. Okay? But everyone has a purpose. Seek to know your purpose. That's the most important thing. Okay? So, to trust God is to trust yourself. To believe in God is to believe in yourself. Not no man in the sky. So they do not believe in God. That's why they go to church. They do not believe in God. That's why they listen to a preacher. They do not believe in God. That's why they look on the outside for a savior. Someone say creator inside. Yes. The only one there is. There's no other. Yes, the kingdom is within. The vibration. We are the temple, of course. But even the religious people, look how dumb they are. The religious people say, we are the temple. Okay? And yet they would turn around again and they would say, let's say they meet a friend, some sister or some brother from their organization. They say, sister such and such, when you're not in the house of the Lord, those children don't behave themselves. They need to conduct themselves better in the house of the Lord. Yet that is the same person who just met you a while ago, but 2 minutes ago, and telling you that we are the temple. So you see why we don't just bother. Actions speak louder than words. if you're the temple, okay, then you're supposed to be a conscious and a deliberate creator. You're not supposed to go marking your ex either. So you see, some people say, oh, the conscious their way, but then they're gonna say, oh, it is my right to go vote for Trump or vote for Kamala or whoever it is. I don't fuck with politics, neither religion. I have 2 middle finger, okay? One for politicians, one for preachers. I'm not no part of that. Someone say he lives in you. Why you putting agenda to the power? Calling it he. But I can understand, okay? The power, the intelligence. It's like a super highway. Okay? That is a highway of intelligence. It's a communication highway. That's what I meant to say. It's a communication highway. Why do you think, right? Those who control the world, they control media. If controlling media is controlling the entire masses and controlling population, right, by media, then you have to be inside communication intelligence that you have, that they have to stop that to use theirs to control you. Come on, man, think. Language, man. So why they use propaganda? They want to control the entire world. And don't be shocked if you see they try to create some sort of artificial some sort of AI kind of event that will take place throughout the entire world. You catch what I'm saying? To trick people. Don't be surprised. I tell you, among the people bow down, and if there was to do a technology to bring what look like a man, it don't even have to be a man, but just in the shape and everything like a man from the sky and could be seen throughout the wall and talking. Yeah, young people gonna bow and believe all the stupid. Everything is inside of you, man. So the power is within you. That's all I'm saying. So the dumb people will ask the question, do you believe in God from a religious and superstitious perspective? Wise people don't ask the question unless they are using an encoded language to just have fun. Like the boy on School of Hard Knocks. He ain't talking about no fucking Jesus and no man and no outside. To these millionaires and billionaires people, he said, do you believe in God? Okay. Let me just read this last comment. Why don't you travel to the UK? There's some things I will not do unless my spirit and my intuition lead me to do it. Okay. That's just how I am. Okay. If my intuition lead me to do something, I'll do it. If my intuition doesn't lead me, because everything has its time, its place, and everything. You catch what I'm saying? If I have to travel the world, I'll travel the world. Okay? There's no need to be afraid of anything in this entire world. That's why I normally tell people on my channel, don't ever make any comment to say, oh, protect that man by alcohol. They're going to protect me with guns, bombs. Those are 4-dimensional weapons. Okay? The weapon of my warfare is not carnal. Okay? It is non-physical. Okay, so I would only do things based on how my spirit lead me. So yeah, let me thank each and every one of you for tuning in, and let me reach out again to you people who this message have been resonating with, and if what I'm saying makes sense to you, it really get you thinking. You experience people who always, like ask you that question from a religious and a superstitious perspective, like, do you believe in God? No, and now I explain it to you and show you on the US money, you say in God we trust, and there's an in God and an all God, and the all God is the false God. It's idolatry. That's where they trap you. The in God is you believing in yourself, you trust in yourself, you love yourself, you embrace in yourself, you trust in the intelligence inside of you. If all of that makes sense to you and so on, I would definitely like to ask you to support this work whichever way you can. If you can send me books, you can reach out to me. I will send my wish list and so on with books and so on. If you have a book that you can recommend and send books, I'm a collector of books. I want to collect as much books you know, and the subject of self-improvement, self-development, esoteric knowledge, um, anything that can help to lift a people, lift a nation, anything that can help to inspire people in the right way. I don't want a religious book. I don't want a book written by T.D. Jakes and none of these kind of people. You understand? Every I think it's every year also. They normally have a boat that normally come to all of these islands named the Locust. Sell a bunch of religious book. Not names, but religious book. Nothing spiritual, but anything spiritual and uplifting and so on, books, and you could donate a book or two to me, I'll definitely appreciate it. If you can support me on my Patreon, whichever way you can support, I definitely would appreciate the support. Okay, so I really want to thank you all very much. I'm gonna try my best to see how much I could upload more videos regular on this channel and my other channels. I've been very busy because my son is just about about a month and a week or two old, now, and so on. So I was real busy, you know, and still busy and so on. But I'm gonna try my best to get more content or to those who it's been resonating with. Okay, so I really want to thank you all very much, and I'll definitely see you in another live. You will be able to see me once I post up any video for the rest of the week, whether it's a short or long form. But wanna post up some more long form, like whether it's 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. I wanna always be bringing something to you to help to build you and to find the God that is in you, the God in you. Believe and trust the God in you, no other God. Any other God is a lie. So church is a lie. Politics is a lie. Even the school system is all a lie. But your parents, if you listen to me, let me say this before I come to a close. If you're a parent and you're sending a child to school, keep an open eye for the gift and the talent. Don't force them with this education thing. Keep an eye out for the gift and the talent. School will help to express a little bit of that. But you have to be observant. You can't be so caught up just walk, chasing after money. No. When you really know yourself and you know your purpose and you start to serve the God inside of you, you really believe in God. Not all God, in God. Ideas will always come to you to better yourself. Nobody could stop you. Don't make nobody fool you. Nobody could stop you. Doesn't matter how much tariff Trump put on. It doesn't matter with that. No, those are just a distraction to create fear and doubt and guilt and shame. And that's what church offer to you: guilt, shame, judgment, condemnation, doubt, fear, and all of that. And everything come around what? Fear. And you trap yourself. Nobody doing it to you, you're doing it to yourself. But I'm here to help you. Okay? So, my brother and my sisters, I want to thank you very much. I want to say peace. Love you all.